Okay, let's continue with hairs of 2B, just to avoid spending too much time on the model. Oops, I did something wrong. I need to duplicate my model. I did it before. Okay, let me just remove some subdivision levels just to have a support for my hairs, because I'm using an IMM brush and I can't have subdivision levels. Then the idea is to finish all the hairs, at least not everything, but the shape of the hairs, all the strands of hairs, like that, before going to the next steps for this project. Then I will do hairs which will flow like that, just behind, with the hairband on this location. And I think I will hide this hairband for now. Where is it? I need to rename. Okay, which would be the good one. Okay, don't do like me. Don't forget about renaming your subtools. I loaded my brush, but I just, as a reminder, you need to go in curve modifiers and the curve follow-up, doing a flip vertical like that and changing the size a little bit, or it won't be in the good direction. Oops, sorry, not the good subtool. Okay, should be alright now without the symmetry as well. I may reduce the size for now, which is way too big, because I will work that way, just a smaller size to just find the good location for the model, like that. And as soon as I have something which will be fine enough, then you see I will change the size of my brush just to update that way. I need to really build the volume like that. Don't forget also that in the stroke palette you have some options for the curve. I have the bend and snap. The snap is snapping to the underlying surface. If I remove it, now I'm able to, you see, move inside and not having this model detection. And I can continue that way. Think about how it is, increasing the size a little bit. It's a bit too much. Okay, then I'm done with this strand of hairs. I can click on it to apply it, and doing my split unmasked points like that, I have this mesh, which is a separate one, that way. And again, I will just sculpt it a little bit to have something a little bit more flat. I will apply a subdivision level, which will be better. Because if I'm looking at the original design, you see that the hairs are kind of flat. Okay, and I will use my move brush. Like that. And you see again, I really insist on that, is as soon as you want to do a large deformation, move brush is great, but you need to have a wide, large radius for your brush. Then you can duplicate if you want this subtool to have another one, duplicate, then you can move it, rotate it. Changing a little bit the scale. just change the rotation as well on this direction. I'm not on the good angle, which doesn't help for this one. Okay, and I will switch back to my move brush. And I will try to create all the main part, and after I will add smaller hairs just to give a better volume or flow for the hairs. Need to do also the one just below, and perhaps I should start with the one below to avoid having some visual confusion in between. And that's why I'm using a separate meshes, different subtools, is to be sure that I have the control on what I'm doing separately. And at the end, of course, I may fuse some of the parts to have more control on the sculpting aspect or the transition between each part. You see, like this transition between this part of the hairs. I want to move. Always take your time, it's not a running competition. It's important to achieve your result. Okay. My alt click is kinda difficult. Okay. What I will do, I will do some extra hairs just below, just to do these parts really what is visible. I guess I will have some hairs because I don't have the visual on that, but I may change the bend, to be close to the ears that way. I don't have the symmetry, of course, which is fine because I want to have some variations anyway. Okay, then I will have hairs which will go just below like that and then going on top like that, and then having the other hairs being on top. Okay, let's do that way. Let me click again on the head. Let me hide this one. I will do all of them here. Mighty hair brush, smaller radius. Let's start with this one. Okay, I will do the symmetry after, because I need to consider that I will see the character with the figurine from this point of view, let's say, but we are in 3D, then we need to think that's the other point of view, what we will see. And of course, I need to consider the printing aspects. Let's see, the band like that. Okay. Take care, but when you are clicking, if you click outside of the curve, you will drop the curve and then you will drop the mesh as a real object. You see, like it is, I just click on the side and I need to undo, sorry, to correct what I just did. Okay, it should be fine that way. And I can drop it now using my move brush again. Let me switch in transparency mode, not in solo, sorry. I will flatten that, and of course to flatten I will just do Control D. What's going on? Oh, I don't have a smooth mode on. Yeah. Why? What's going on? Divide is smooth. I don't have, oh, I know. I know, I didn't split my model. It's not a separate subtool, then split unmasked points. Okay. Better at that. Okay. I really need to keep some thickness because of the 3D printing process. If it's too thin, I will have issues anyway. We need to find the good balance. And one of the stages I will do very soon after the hairs part will be to work on a real scale. Not like it is right now. Then move. To go on top. I may need to sculpt more these parts. But with some hairs on top, it may not be very visible. I may keep something like that. Just cut with more details. Okay, need to have some hairs. Also, that way we have the band for the eyes as well. Need to round to make that a little bit more curvy, let's say. Okay, at least for now. And let me see that for after. Yeah, I need to consider that, yeah, for the hairs, I don't know, yeah, it should be below, in fact. Yeah, hair shouldn't be on that way. Oh, that's stupid from me. Should be more on top. Transparency. Don't forget that you can smooth. It will help you relaxing your polygons if you are doing too much stretching like I'm doing right now. Okay. Let's do mirror and weld. Let me remove the higher subdivision levels, modify topology. Where is my grid? I'm sure not on the good side. Yes, exactly. And let's do some mirror and weld. It should be okay. I put the symmetry for later. Okay. Because I don't have hairs on this location. I need to have hairs just under that one, perhaps having some other ones going this direction. Okay, I will continue anyway, all of them here. Let me remove the transparency. Okay. Again, it's still always the same workflow. Then I will split unmasked points, selecting this subtool, subdividing once, trim dynamic to make them a bit flatter, and doing some deformations with the move brush. And I won't do everything in symmetry. I prefer doing some flows. I mean, just controlling what I'm doing. That way, having more hairs just below be better that way. Okay, another one, and at the end I will perhaps individually rework on all of them. Mighty hairbrush again. Let's do it a little bit longer. Okay, problem is I have some bending, you see, I mean some bending, some rotation, twisting, which is not always easy to do. Then sometimes it's better to be just in the middle like that, and then trying to just manipulate your curves like that. Increasing the size a little bit. Okay, and again and again, I'm dropping the curve. I'm doing my split unmasked points. Okay, and I will work my subtool that way. Control D, some trim dynamic. Switch to transparency mode. Then what happens if I'm displaying the other one on top? Okay, I need to work on that to avoid this kind of mix of things. But well, let's just continue a little bit. Okay, let's just hide that one and then continue the one below. Okay, oops. These and these. Okay, my hairbrush. We'll keep that one simple. A bit too big. It's not always easy to find the good balance in terms of size, but well, it should be okay. Perhaps I need to go back to this level. Yeah, I will use my move brush to do the deformation. Okay, I almost drop it. Okay, let's drop it now. Split unmasked point as usual. Let's select it, move brush. Yeah, this is, I think, what I need to do is to be as close as possible to the shape of the head. Okay. Okay, need to do at least 2 of them. 1, 2, let's say one which will overlap slightly this one, just to rotate and rotate, and I guess it should be fine. Okay. Let's try to hit a bit. Oh, come on. I need to take care of this twist stuff, which is a bit too much, I guess. I will change the length. Oops. Okay. No twist. Let me close it. Why do we have that? Let me undo. Okay. I will continue that way. Don't want to spend too much time on that. Let's drop it. Move brush. Yeah, kind of twist geometry brush is missing, I think. Need to go in this direction for this one. And speaking about these strands of hairs, this one, I think I will having this one rotating like that, and this one on the other direction. I don't know, or perhaps keeping, yes, we have this curvy effect, and it's more the last one, which, yeah, I need to change that. I don't like what it looks like right now. Anyway. Trim dynamic. And the last one, and it should be fine, at least for this series of hairs, because I may need to add a little bit more just below, but perhaps it will be more later. I will do that because I need to do the one on the top, and based on that I try to refine. I would like to do also some extra hairs just below, just this one, to give more volume, to be close to the ears, at least this ear, this one. Okay. I will hide that one. Okay. I just changed my UI, in fact, before this new series, and I put everything on the right, and each time I'm looking for the brushes on the left. Not a big deal, but well, when you're looking for something, it can be problematic. Need to add a little bit of length. Okay. When you are doing something like me, don't focus again a lot on where is the location of your curve, because after it's more easier to have the control with what you're doing with the move brush than trying again and again to have the perfect curve for what you're doing. Then let's drop it, split it, selecting it now using the move brush just to refine like I did until now. Relax a little bit what I have here. Let me just unhide that. Okay, I just remove the symmetry on both of them to have something which is different. And I think I will try to round it a little bit, this one below, to be more in this direction, like this one. Perhaps to be closer to the shape below. Don't forget that you can use as well transpose to do your rotations. I need to take care, you see, I'm moving very closely to the ears, is how much I want to have the ears visible or not. Having some hairs on top can hide some parts which maybe need some love later for the sculpting aspects or just painting after it's 3D printed. But I need also to consider how I will merge the hairs together and how I will print them. And like I said in the original stream, I will probably do a split at the edge of the hairband to have the front part and the back part of the hairs. I need to really consider this part, but at least I need to finish the part about the hairs. And for that one, let me just, oops, inverse my mask using my rotation. I'm pressing the Alt key when I'm doing this rotation. It's just doing a bend based on the last point. I don't know if you know that. And I can use again with Move Brush and Alt key, using this way of doing some modifications to the model. See so far, and I can bend again with the rotation at the end with the Alt key. That way, then I can just smooth a little bit to relax. That way. Okay, then now I hide at least a part of the hairs. I need to do the part which will be on top, like this one, which will give more volume. Okay. Then perhaps I will need to move slightly the hairband a little bit higher to be adapted to the mesh. I need to have another strand of hairs going there because I really have some large volumes. I think I need to increase slightly the size of my deformations. Because we need to keep in mind that she's just falling. I mean, if you know to play the game, that the pod will, she can just catch the pod when she's falling, and the pod reduce the speed of the fall, and that's why she's falling. And we need to keep in mind that the hairs are just flowing with the hair, which is something important to do. And I'm more doing on this stage, but I need to have more strands of hairs which will be on top, doing this kind of rotations. Like that, I need to add one on this area to fill the gap in between, which will be more a little bit less wider than this one, but perhaps a bit longer. Okay, then let's do it right now. I think I will work based on this shape to do the separate one. It will be easier that way. Ah, damn, I have my distribution levels, they're higher. Okay, and let me remove my solo mode. Increase the size slightly. Too much. I'm just trying to, no, I think I will do it only the other way. And after, I just try to have the roof shape, and after with the Move Brush I will refine, but for now we need to have something which will be more in the good direction, because it's easier to do this bending of shapes with the curve than trying to having same bend with the Move Brush. That's why I'm looking for something which will be roughly what I'm looking for, and then I will do the final modification with the move brush. Okay, I'm dropping it, split selection, and now move to refine. Subdivide a little bit using the trend dynamic. You have no obligations about displaying the polyframe like I'm doing. It helps me see with all the hairs that I built which one is the current one, to have a better point of view of the selection. Then there is again no obligations about working that way. I need to consider the size of the hairs because she have long hairs but not that long, and I think that what I'm doing right now is a bit too long. Let me shorten that a little bit. But you see, to do this kind of direction and shapes, working with curves is it's something which is good. And then based on that I will try to adapt to the other shapes, to have something which is rounded, the kind of same direction. Okay, and I think with some just top of some hairs on top, continuing the flow same way, it should be okay. Perhaps need to work more on the part below, which are not that good. Okay, let's continue. I do that one. I would like to do a flow on this direction, like that. Okay, let's start from that one. Let me just remove subdivision levels because I don't need them. It was just to build the shape. My brush. Sometimes you may have this kind of visual artifact. It's just something related to ZBrush. It's not, you don't have to take care of that. Now I want to rotate and go that way. I need to work on that. a bit wider. Okay. Okay, let's drop it, split it, and select it. Just to select, I'm using the arrow, the down arrow key, which lets you select the subtool below, and when I'm doing a split, then it will put the splitted subtool just below the current one. Then it's just a quick way to do the modification. A bit of relax. See, I need to take up at the length of my hairs because it's not regular. You see on top of them, the top should be bigger than the other ones, while they are a little bit shorter. I try to start to make them going in another direction because you see they are rotating that way, and I would like to have them after going more in this direction just to arrive to have this kind of curve aspect. Then I need to be very careful on that. If I want to rotate, of course the best way is to select with a mask and using transpose to rotate. The topological masking eventually. Okay, like that. Okay, trim dynamic a little bit. At the end, only this part will be visible. Everything else will be merged as a single mesh. Then it should be okay. And we need to start, you see, just below, just to imagine like the hairs are not just starting from here, but all of them start. Then I will need to add some part just to do the transition between the head by itself and the hairs just below, like that. Then I will need to insert some parts just to have a nicer transition. Okay, let's continue. Okay. This refresh bug is kinda annoying. We need to check for the thickness of that because it's way too thick. I want to keep, perhaps reduce a little bit, at least, yeah. Okay, drop, split, and subtool selection. Let me just flatten that a little bit. Yeah, I need really to fill this part. I really need to have some strands of hairs on this area. It's too empty right now. Okay, delete hair. As you can see, it has been multiple times that I have subdivision levels, and I'm just applying one level or two levels just to use the trim dynamic, just to flatten the top part. I'm not dividing to add details, but if I'm flattening too much on a low resolution mesh, I won't have a lot of control. Then it's better to add more polygons, which is weird for this kind of operation, but it works better that way. Just try, you will see. Okay, and now it's continue to do that way. At least to have 1 and 2, and it should be fine. Perhaps I need to add one more just below to add this kind of rounded parts there, and that one. Okay, let's try. Again, doing hairs is really time consuming, unfortunately, but it's really important for such model and such design. Okay, for this one it should be fine. I move brush. Okay, and a small one more. Yeah, a small one should be okay. Not sure about this angle. Not sure. Perhaps I need to go keeping the flow. Yeah, I think I will stick with that. Okay. New subtool. Yeah, working with that will be, I think, annoying. I need to take care of all of that. Let me switch to transparency mode. Okay, I'll do the larger one, which will go in this direction as well, just to fill this large gap. I will start from the head. It will be tricky to use the brush, I think, for the shape of the curve. Let's try to see. Oops. It's trying to follow the path of the model, which is in the other direction, and I don't like that. Then what I can do is, in the stroke palette, I should remove this bend and snap for now, at least. Which, come on, I won't lock. Why my curve is rotating? I have no idea. Then let's skip. Oh, I have the start, and you see, it's tricky. Okay, it's a bit wider. In fact, I will reduce the size of my shape to have more control, because I will have more points, and after I will change the size of it. Something like that. And now let's try with a larger shape. Okay. I don't think that this shape needs to be wider than this one. But again, I will try to work on the thickness, which will affect everything. Okay, let's skip that like it is right now. Splitting it. I will subdivide because I really need to use a trim dynamic brush for that one. Okay, I have some interconnections. Let me switch to solo mode for once. I need to fix that, it's not good. Let me hide this one. Yeah, this one should be in the other direction. And I think I spent so much time to change the direction. It should be in the other direction. Okay, you see I'm just killing the thickness with the smooth, but of course with a bit of inflate will bring back the thickness which is needed, at least for the 3D print. I can use the move brush to change this thickness. Okay. Do we have some hidden hairs? Okay, that one. I have to keep in mind that on this area I will have this part which will kind of transition, and I will need to refine the hairs at that time. Okay. Let me move that up a little bit, trying to unifying everything. And we need to keep in mind that the hairs needs to be to have more volume as usual because of the gravity and all these kind of things. Come on, save it please. Okay, now we'll add some small hairs, like you see this one flowing, this one doing some others on other locations. Like having one, I think this one, I will start it on this location, like that. And I will use this one. Reducing the size a little bit. Stroke, let me remove the snap. I need to have just a little bit of part flying in the air because, again, of the 3D printing process. It's not very good to have this long and thin part just not being connected to other parts. It's very important to be very careful with that. Let me just start at the connection between these two strands of hairs. This refresh bug is really annoying. It's not a big deal, but when you are doing your strokes, okay, let's split. And for this part, I will need to sculpt to really separate that one from the other ones, but I will do that just later. I don't need to do it right now. I do a small one with a little bit, which will be curvy at the end, with some angle. I don't know how to say that in English, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm lacking some of vocabulary sometimes. Perhaps not that much. Reducing the size, perhaps doing a different way, meaning that I will have a larger size, but again I can use my stroke, curve modifiers, and having the end a little bit more smaller. Need to find the good balance. Okay, that way. It's too thin at the end. Again, 3D printing. Okay. You always need to have your fingers on top of the undo keys when you are working with the curves, unfortunately, because it's very easy to click not on the good location, and it's important to have your curve being as smooth as possible, or you will have some issues at the end. That's why you need like that to just push and pull your curve to achieve what you're looking for. I think I need to move it a little bit inside. It's a little bit too much. And again, right now I just have few curves, but I need to sculpt to give more details. Oops, sorry. On this part, it's not exactly where it should be. You see that it should be a little bit closer to the face and shorter. I may not match exactly what we have right now, of course, for the drawing, but you see this one, I have the small one, which is just merged here. The other one, we have more items like that. Then I will need to find the balance between what I will sculpt and what will be just split strands of hairs like it is. And I will need to do more this small one on top to give different depth to the sculpt, and also on the side. And of course, for the main hairs, I will just do some lines just to split that until the end of the shape. Okay, let's just, I don't have the curve anymore. Okay, let's split it. Move. Yeah, perhaps I will need to merge that more avec the one below, just to have a split more on this area, while it's a little bit too thin. And let's use the infrared brush. And push it down. Okay. Okay. Again, should be Okay, now for that, let's do some small ones flowing to give more shape and depth at the same time. Can be a little bit more crazy with, not crazy, but changing the shape a little bit for this, because they are so small one, then you have more freedom. Let me put back the lock start. Need to have a bigger one that way waving, but I need to connect in between. I mean, I need to avoid having just in the middle like that. Okay, let me just split it. Move it a little bit. Okay. Perhaps I need to inflate slightly the shape. Okay, I will do one bigger one in between. We need perhaps to have something which will go more round, something like that. I'm not sure yet. I think I will just increase a little. Whoops, way too much. Ah. Okay. I'm afraid it will be too much. I need to, bend slightly, but not that much. I'm afraid it will look too much the same. Something that you can do as well, and it should work if I'm not wrong, is stroke. If you go in your curve functions, you do a snapshot, it will do just a copy of the curve like that. You see, and it's up to you to see what you are doing with that, but it's a way to just duplicate something based on the same curve. Let me just change a little bit the size. Okay, we need to put that down. It's too much. Yeah, Need to do something more like that. Change a little bit the shape. Okay. The problem is I have this set of hairs, but I need to have some stuff which may be more on this area and that way in between. It feels too yeah, weird. Need to have longer ones, just starting to flow that way or here. Perhaps I should increase the size of that one. Doing something more in between. Okay, that way. It's always so difficult to do these hairs. Okay, let's split this one. Okay, but this one, let me do some auto groups. Polygroups, auto groups, and then doing a split groups. Yeah, I know, I can't undo that. You see, I'm starting to have more and more subtools. I just did the Ctrl W to create a different, just a unique polygroup for that one. Of course, I will need to add some subdivision levels to have a better vision of the model, because without it will be very difficult to have some nice flow for the shape. You see this one, this is too thin. I don't like that. What one? I need to just doing some inflate to make that way larger. And then trying to flatten that. Just smoothing a little bit, and then okay. We need to have some better transition, some nicer, some lines which would be nicer to look at. Right now it's not that good. But at least it starts to go in the good direction, I think. We need perhaps to, okay. Let me add few extra ones. Just for these locations, perhaps this one. The question is, how far will I go with that when you are sculpting hairs, you are starting with large strips of polygons or just large strokes to give some volume, and after you reduce the size of the brush to add more layers of hairs. So far I have the large one, smaller ones, not in between, except below. I need to sculpt, and perhaps later in the sculpt I will add more to give more depth to my model, refining the curves, going that way here, even if it may not be visible. Okay, let's just go that way. Okay, let's start with that one. I would like to no, let me just undo and redrawing it because it's twisting too much. Way too much. Okay, it's better now. That's a mistake. And then I will be able to do a small one just on top, just flowing a little bit. Then let me drop the curve a little bit. Let me smooth that using my move brush. And now splitting all of that, split unmasked points, and going back to my brush to do a small one with some deformation. Okay, drop, split. trim, and move. Not that much. I should inflate a little bit. I think I trimmed too much. And perhaps having more hairs. I need to add more, I think. No. I will see with all the sculpting process. But so far, I will stay at this stage. And this is all the small refinement. I will do more at the end of the model. Again, I need to have more small hairs. Perhaps I will do just do one here. Then higher, just a small one starting on this area, like this small one. I don't know if this is hairs or not. I guess this is hairs. Anyway, my brush. Let me change the stroke, curve modifier. Well, doesn't change a lot. Even more. Oops. I duplicate the curve. I don't know what I do. Wrong hotkey. I can do this small thin one, of course. It will be too thin for 3D printing. Okay, drop it, split it. Okay, then what I will do now, I will just go back in subdivision levels for all of them. Like this one, del higher, del higher. Let me start from the top, sorry. You see I have so many subtools for the hairs, and starting with this one, I will go just down, take a not having dynamic. This one, no dynamic. This one, no subdivision levels, del higher, no dynamic. Nothing, del higher, nothing. I'm using the arrow key to go down, del lower, del higher, no dynamic. Oops, which is this one. Del higher, this one, no dynamic, nothing, del higher, not needed. Okay, del higher, Sometimes it feels that I have too many polygons for the hair bands. I don't edit that. Same for this one. Then why I did that? I did all of that is I will save first, but I will merge all the hairs part together to be just one mesh. And by doing that, after I will just work, of course, with different polygroups and different parts, but at least like that I will be able to use my move topological brush to, of course, work on the different part without affecting the other parts, or I will use transpose, but at least I will have just one subtool for the hairs. And of course, before doing this kind of operation, I'm saving my tool in case I'm doing something wrong, just to remind you that merging down is not an doable operation. Of course, I can split after based on polygroups, but well, it's time to save anyway.